Hi, I'm Jack Twist.
And I'm Spider-Man.
And we know better! Hi guys, were you expecting this?
Morgan texted me yesterday and said, "Are we still doing Dress Like Your Type of Men?" And I said, yes. And then I immediately texted my friend Erin and I said, I'm gonna put on a Spider-Man costume and I don't think that's what Morgan means, but however, I'm going to do it anyway. But then we didn't end up filming yesterday, so I wore a Spider-Man costume for 2 hours for no reason yesterday.
True. You didn't have to out yourself like that you did it for no reason. We could have just pretended it was yesterday too. But
I know, but I wanted to explain how we got to our extreme examples.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
The idea was just dress like your male type.
Yeah, but I feel like our male type does tend to be fictional characters. And so, yeah, this is why we're dressed like this. Specifically, I mean, more so yearning cowboy than Jack Twist himself. But it still applies. I would probably fuck him, but he has no interest in me, so that's why it's like, it's not about that. It's about being a yearning cowboy, and what better than Jack Twist himself.
I am any version of the Spider-Man actors, Spider-Man, I love every Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. Much as all of the masses of the world. Spider-Man unites us all, but, yeah, I just had this lying around. I have, as you'll see a TikTok we post sometime in the future, I just have, like, a box of cosplay costume and also just weird clothing items that I have just for my own personal enjoyment. So I kind of just went in my closet yesterday and I was like, yeah, this seems like the right time to put on, to break out the Spider-Man outfit again. The fun fact, the only reason I actually bought it in the first place was because well, also I've been wanting, Ginger farted bad, just because I've always wanted to have a Spider-Man costume, but I justified it because I wanted to prank Ange, and by prank Ange, I mean, I bought the full Spider-Man costume, put it on, like, titties out like this, like, I don't wear a bra with it, because it's, like, skin tight,
right,
and then I had the dumbass, like, cowl, too, so I was just a big titty Spider-Man, and then I FaceTimed her, no context, and she, still one of the funniest things I think I've ever done, but
and that was worth the money?
Yeah, I spent $40 just to do that.
That's wonderful.
But I kind of spent it thinking, like, this is gonna be, like, I'm gonna need this multiple times in my life, I think. And here I am, proving it right.
Yeah. So we specifically chose to be dressed as our type in men because we're doing it, guys. We're talking about the male manifesto. Wait, what's its actual name?
It's called The 6 Fatal Flaws of Men.
Right. Only 6? Why did I think there were 7?
It's 6.
Yeah. 6 with some bonus, like...
I have honorable mentions, because there's 6
mentions.
main flaws that men have.
Yeah.
And listen, the manifesto is airtight. I'll bust it out.
Yeah.
I made this sometime in college, because I wanted to be able to tell what was wrong with men based on what I knew was good about them. So, like, you can figure out a man's flaws by checking off the things that he does, the boxes he does check. That's kind of how it works. And anyone who I went to college with who used this theory with me can attest. Oh god, I need to figure out what I named the freaking document. Fatal Flaws of Men, I think. Yeah. Okay, it's actually called The Fatal Flaws of Men by Elizabeth Brown. That's what it's called. Any person I went to college with who has used it can attest that it works. Mm-hmm. And we can use it later on some men that we think are perfect. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you...
I'd never claimed that for mine, I want to say. Men that I would...
No, we don't have to. We have a list later of men that it's just like, it doesn't matter what, when, or how, or what they've done type shit.
Acknowledging that they have flaws, and I would still smash anyways.
But, I mean, okay, I'll just go through it, and then I can give you an example of someone that I've used it on, okay? That's what I'll do. So there are 6 major fatal flaw categories. And they're also not in order of importance. All 6 are equally important. Yeah. Height, personality, intelligence, dick, respect for women, their relationship with their mother. Every man has at least 1, on average 2. If more than 3, you should not be speaking to him. 3, I think, is sort of the line of do or don't, if that makes sense. More than
Except
3, definitive no.
Right.
Okay, and then I'm breaking down each of these categories because there's a good and a bad to each of them, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And I think that also for each person who is using this manifesto, the categories kind of change for you know what I mean? It's like customizable because people think different things about height and stuff like that. But this is my personal opinions, and typically I'm right. And it's like generalized, obviously. Yeah. Okay, height. Men can be too tall and too short. Too short means they will compensate for that by being funny, which can be a good thing, or working out way too much and being too ripped. Too tall means they will cheat on you. That's what I have to say about that.
Yes.
And how many times have I met a short man and he is just so fucking ripped it's kind of almost gross? Like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Because they always have to overcompensate. There's nothing wrong with being short. It's when you feel the need to, you know?
Yes.
But
they
also
make themselves look like a refrigerator because they're short and wide.
Yes. This is the man episode. Who knew we would get here?
I know. This is for all you straights out there. Special episode for you.
Yeah, I know. Everyone who's been thinking I'm a lesbian this whole time, I have been withholding, in like the lesbian master doc, The Fatal Flaws of Men master doc. I have figured out men, which is why I've then moved on to women. Women, none of this applies
Mystery.
to. Personality. It will either be good or bad. A funny personality can compensate for lacking in another category. A bad personality can take away from the good dick category. This one is very subjective. You either think they have a good personality or you think they have a bad personality, and that's how you narrow down either way. Intelligent. A smart man is a rich man, or will be a rich man. Too smart bleeds into narcissism. Too smart means bad. A smart man will control you and tell you what to do. Also another thing that... I kind of outlined the goods and bads of both the sides. It's kind of, like I said, subjective.
Yeah.
A smart man will only cheat on you if he can get away with it. A dumb man is no fun and is poor. If he can't get your humor, he's too dumb. So I think there's a smart man line. You want a smart man, somewhat smart man, but too smart once they get to that narcissism type, bad.
Exactly.
Dick. Too small can be self-explanatory, not always. Too big is scary and painful, but regardless of size, you have to know how to use it. A small dick is fine if you know how to compensate. Never go near a man who doesn't eat pussy. I'm speaking, like, this was, like, fucking, like, when the Mormons claimed that God spoke to one of them, like, back in old America, like, God spoke to me about men, because it's like I reread it and every time I reread it I'm like, and yes, I'm completely fucking right.
Every single time.
Respect for women. If he blatantly makes fun of other women or demeans them in front of you, he will not respect you. He will say shitty things to his friends and show them your nudes. Also, if they don't respect women's rights, they are dumb and will be poor. Activists and feminists respecting only their mom is not enough. Let's run that one back. Respecting only their mom is not enough. Relationship with their mother. A man who likes his mom too much or is a mama's boy has never learned consequences for doing a woman wrong. He will lie to you and cheat on you and be surprised when you are upset. A man with a bad relationship with his mom will be super attached. He will also suck on your titties like a binky. That one was a little bit personal to me. Once again, it's like all of them you have to have the sweet spot because both extremes kind of are bad. Get you bad outcome. Okay, here are the honorable mentions, things that are important also to consider when trying to figure out what's wrong with a man. Social media. A man with no social media presence should be married immediately. Oh no, I lost my place. Too much social media presence means he is a whore or he's bisexual. Which isn't always a bad thing. just a true fact, though.
Yes.
Well, a lot of these are kind of like I'm stating, you know?
Yeah.
Friends. If his friends are assholes, they will body shame you and not tell you if he's cheating on you. Most men shit on their women with their friends. If his friends come on to you, that means he's not serious about you because he doesn't care if he shares. Real friends won't fuck a girl a man likes. Hygiene. 3-in-1, run. Cannot commit if they use 3-in-1. They will also probably cheat on you because they're dirty. If hygiene is too good, they are ran through or a woman has shown them how to take care of themselves before. I've had a man argue with me about this before. Parker was like, what if I just have sisters? And I was like, fine, but a woman has still shown you how to take care of yourself.
Right.
Which, like I said, can be a good or bad thing. Yeah. You know? I'm not saying I want to teach a man how to take care of himself. I'm just saying men aren't doing it themselves.
Right.
Some woman has to teach them. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Also, I just feel like that's a cop-out because how many men are actually listening to their sisters?
All I'm saying, if a man has a fucking face wash routine, a woman has taught him that, and I just know that for a fact.
Yes.
And that's something to consider, because if you think a man is ran through, then they will never love you as much as their ex, or they have sisters. Oh, I immediately explained myself after. I could have just kept reading. Political beliefs. Don't ever fucking go near a Republican unless it's by accident. If you do on accident, then kill yourself immediately. My bad. Sorry. Aggressive. And then the last honorable mention is Arby's. If they like Arby's, they will psycho murder you. Only murderers go to Arby's. That was also a content that Parker had with the manifesto, because he was like, I love Arby's, and I was like, exactly,
and
and you are a fucking psychopath. Like, point explained. I get my fucking information from sources. I have never been wrong. So now let me show you how this works.
Yes.
So, for example, when I was a sophomore in college, there was a man who I saw on Zoom who I thought was attractive. Okay. His name was Pietro. I'm just gonna say it. I don't really fucking care. But I saw him through Zoom, right? So I wanted to hook up with him, but I was like, I don't know anything about what this man is, right? Because I'm only seeing him on Zoom.
Right.
So, here's what I knew about him. And here's how I knew he was gonna be short upon meeting him to hook up for the first time. Height, I didn't know. Personality, I thought he had a good personality at the time. He really liked anime, and he was really smart. Intelligence, he was really smart. He kind of bled into the narcissism, but I didn't know that before I met him.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I was basing this off of what I thought at the time. I would disagree with these fatal flaws now. I think he has way too many to be fucked with, in period.
Yeah.
But at the time, I didn't know because I knew very little about him.
Right.
But he checked off personality, he checked off intelligence, knew nothing about dick. Respecting women, I was on the fence about, and then the relationship with their mother, I knew he had a really good relationship with his mom. So upon meeting him, the respect for women was already in question, but I knew he came to help me and Haley study. That's the first time I met him. But when he was walking in the door, I went through this manifesto with Haley, and I said, this means he either has bad dick or he's short. And then she said, that's not true, that can't be true. Man walks in, he is 5'5". He's 5'5", and he's ripped like a fridge, and his dick is small. And he lasted 30 seconds in bed. One speed. We always make this joke. We go, one speed, one ass slap, one position, one direction. Because the One Direction slogan used to do something like that, where it's like one band, one heart, one direction, or some bullshit. And that's literally, I predicted it right as he was walking in the door, and I kind of wish I sat down and went through the fatal flaws before I invited him to come study with us and sealed my fate that I was going to hook up with him. Which, you can always change your mind, but it was a done deal in my mind.
Yeah.
Because he was short. But then I kind of thought, when he came in and he was short, I was like, well, then maybe he is kind of iffy about women, and I just thought he might not respect women because of the narcissism thing, I think his politics are good, though. So, but he was just he was an asshole. But then I saw he was short, and I was like, well, then maybe the dick gon' go crazy, right? Because that's two.
Sometimes, yeah.
But unfortunately, if I reassess Pietro now, short, asshole, he is really smart. Dick, bad. Respect for women, questionable. Relationship with mom, good.
So, average man, because like you said, I guess he has more than average. What'd you put on there? Average is 2?
Yeah, average is 2.
I don't know if that's true. Average for an okay man is 2, I think. For I feel like most men have at least 3. Yeah.
Well, that's why I said on average 2, more than 3. You shouldn't be speaking to him, because I think 3 is the gray area. Because I think you're right with that.
But that ladies, you can use this in yourself especially when you're just starting to get to know a man, so you will only know maybe a few of those thus far, and obviously they can change. But if you're like, okay, this guy is genuinely smart. You've already had sex with him, the dick is good. But then also, you feel like he gets along with your friends well, his friends are okay, that maybe shows you that he is respectful of women. He has a good height. What other mean too? Maybe he has a good personality. But then at the minimum, their relationship with the mom. He's got a bad relationship with his mom.
I'm thinking about my friends that I have and putting them through this, and the results are fucking hilarious. I don't know if I should say, though. I feel like that might be bordering on being mean to them.
Probably.
Do you think?
Because it's not, like you said, there's the sides to the spectrum, and for people where that line is will change. Some people can't do short men at all. I've definitely, that's not a good example. I've been around short kings a lot, and that's not a good example because they are all bad. But, like, the height in itself wasn't the bad part.
Right.
It's the thing, everything that came around
Like
with
I
it.
said, I stated it in the manifesto. What doesn't work for me when you're short is when you aggressive... Because I think it's not necessarily, like, you're built like a fridge. I guess I'm not super attracted to that. But at the same time, what I don't find attractive about a short man who overcompensates by overworking out is that also becomes a huge part of their personality.
Yes.
And it becomes, like, a show-off type thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're a peacock trying to show off your pretty
Right,
feathers, and I don't give a fuck.
Right.
That's kind of where I think that negative comes in for me.
I agree.
But
I think we're going to keep going with the analysis with some men that we've outlined as would smash anyways and speculate where they fall in the category.
Yeah, we can do that.
And
And we
then-
can explain why we would just smash anyway.
Yeah, and acknowledging that, yes, these men are going to fall on the flaws list, and I'm still going to smash. I'll start because I have a great one that I think has a lot of the flaws.
Is it Billy Butcher?
Billy Butcher. That was the first, when we were coming over, when we were like, we need to do this, he was the first man I had on my list. And he has a lot.
He's tall.
He is tall. His height is good. There's nothing wrong with his height. His personality, he's an asshole. He's a mean guy. He's got a little bit of heart on him sometimes, but only to Huey. He wouldn't have any of that directed towards me. So I'm saying in general, he's an asshole. So...
Is he smart?
Yeah, he's smart. He's pretty smart.
Does
He's
he
kind of a brute over intelligence guy at the end of the day, but yes, in general, he is smart.
What about Dick?
He gave it to Maeve pretty good. If it's good enough for her, it's good enough for me. But actually, then she became a full lesbian after that, I feel like, so maybe it wasn't. I mean, the scene was hot. I don't know, y'all who watch The Boys and you know the scene between Billy and Maeve. I guess he did fuck his old wife too, but that was like, I guess it was it was sensual, but Maeve was like rough. I say yes. I'm hoping yes.
So I'm guessing, does he respect women? I was gonna say, because I feel like he's gonna fall into bad respect for women and also bad relationship with his mom.
He respects his wife.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't. But I'll say that there. He respects his wife.
What do you know about his mom?
Pretty much it. He does really like his mom. I think what's a good point to have in there is, like, with the relationship with the mother. Side note, relationship with other family members. Because, like, I feel like a good relationship with...
But that's not what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on how they react to their mother, because it goes along with respect for women, but also if they're super obsessed with their mom, like, the whole, like, moms who want to fuck their kids type shit.
No, I agree with that. I just think fathers can have a lot of influence, too.
True. Fair.
Because Billy Butcher has a very bad relationship with his dad, and that's why he is the way he is today.
True. I was just focusing on the...
But his mom, it's fine. He doesn't like that his mom, let him be abused. And that was pretty much that. He's mad at her because he doesn't want to do that. And
so it is a complicated relationship?
It is complicated, yeah.
Okay, so
bad,
then,
I don't know.
So then bad personality.
Yeah,
so then he has 3 fatal flaws. Personality,
yes.
respect for women, relationship with their mom.
And yes, and I would still smash.
That's still average.
Even if they were all bad, actually.
Still average, I would say.
I guess. And that's what you get when he's fictional, I suppose. Okay.
Doesn't exceed.
Right.
I'm gonna do Kristoff from Frozen.
Ooh!
I'm in love with that man.
Yes.
He's blonde, though, which... He's, like, the only acceptable blonde man in my heart.
Blonde should be a subcategory on there.
I know, but that's just personal to me. I think if you're...
I think it's personal
if you
to
are
everyone.
an adult man and you're fucking blonde, can you please grow the fuck up? Like,
Raise
what
your hand
are
if
you
you've never,
doing?
Raise your hand if you've never been victimized by a white blonde man.
I'm just saying...
see how no one is not raising their hand.
Like, listen, it was cute when we were teenagers, whatever, but once you're a fucking full adult, just dye your hair darker.
Yeah.
Like, just fucking grow up. Unless you're Kristoff from Frozen. Height, good. Personality, fantastic. He's freaking adorable. He's a little closed off at first, but I think his whole character arc in Frozen is kind of learning that not all people are bad. He's just distrustful of people. So I wouldn't say bad personality, I would say good personality. He is kind of stupid, intelligence-wise. I mean, he just mines ice.
Yeah.
And talks to a reindeer.
Right.
So, if I had to choose, I would
aloof.
say, yeah. I have nothing about his dick game because it was a children's movie. He definitely respects women pretty much the whole time, and he also is pretty much treats them equally to men. You know what I mean? He doesn't baby women, but he also is very respectful for them, so I think that counts. I'm assuming bad relationship with his mom because he doesn't have any parents.
He's gotta have mommy issues.
Like, he has no parents, so I'm just assuming there's issues across the board.
Yeah.
I think that contributes to his trust issues, because when we find him in Frozen, he is alone mining ice.
Yes.
And at the very beginning of Frozen, he just joins the ice miners as a fucking kid, abandoned with no family.
Right.
Either, unless we're assuming that one of the ice miners is his dad, but I assumed he would have mentioned that.
Well, he was raised by the Rock family, right? He was abandoned.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I was gonna say, I would assume they would have just mentioned that anyway. Yes, he was raised by rocks.
Yeah. So
real maternal mom, bad relationship. Probably with his rock mom, great, but...
Fair enough, yeah.
Yes, he was made by the trolls, the rock trolls.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. So I would say he has 2. His 2 would be relationship with his mom and intelligence, because I'm choosing to believe he has good dick. But it's also calling into question because every man has around 3. So maybe he has bad dick.
Yeah, maybe. We don't know. Okay. I have a long list. I don't know if we're going to get to them all, but I'm going to look through. I'm going to say Flynn Rider.
That's a funny one. That is a good one. I should have put that on my list. That's a good one.
I know. Well, yes.
He's good in height, I would say.
Yeah.
He's got a snatched waist, also.
He does. That's why he gives very much mask lesbian. But...
True. Yeah, have you seen that they want to put Ruby Cruz? Is that her last name?
I think that's fan cast. I don't know.
No, that's what I'm saying. They want to put, the people.
Yes.
Sorry, they as in the people. Want her to be, a masked Flynn Rider.
I could see that.
I was, salivating. I was like, yes. Personality.
Good.
You could go either way with that, I think, because it's similar to Kristoff. I think Eugene's a more extreme example, though. When you meet them, it's like there's something fatally wrong about their personality. But the course of their character arc is them working on it.
Yeah, I think the point that they get to is good, but I think I agree that I would be put off. I'm thinking, if I were to meet this man in real life and he acted like that, I would be put off because that smolder, I would punch him in the face, I think. Knowing where it goes, it's cute, but when I don't know him, I guess I would hit him in the face with a frying pan, too. Intelligence...
I think he's smart. I think
so too.
He's double-crossed every single person he's worked with in terms of stealing.
He's a thief. I think you gotta be kind of smart for that.
He's double-crossed everyone, and he's pretty much gained all the riches on his own.
Right.
Which you have to be kind of smart to do with that. And thinking on his feet as well.
Agreed. Dick, we don't know, I guess.
I would assume good, but yeah.
Respect for women.
I don't think he gives us anything to disrespect women.
Yeah, he doesn't really interact with other women outside of Rapunzel. So.
And he's respectful to her.
Yeah.
I would say
all men are kind of respectful to the women that they want to fuck.
True, but he doesn't even want to fuck.
Remember that. That's a caveat to that.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. But I also... I guess maybe he always finds her attractive, but he wasn't romantically interested at the beginning. He just wanted his fucking tiara. And he was respectful. I don't think he's given us a reason to say that's no.
Yes,
I think his put-offishness with people is across the board, and that goes along with his personality.
Yeah.
I'm assuming his relationship with his mom is bad.
Yeah. I don't remember how he got
He's an orphan.
Okay, that is right.
Because that's why he didn't want to be named Eugene.
Yeah.
Loser orphan name.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yes. So, yeah, also bad. Probably got mommy issues.
So that's only 2. If we count his personality as bad. 1 if we don't.
Yeah, and I
assuming his dick is good.
Oh, that means, oh no, he might have bad dick.
Yeah, I was going to say, assuming. I just assumed.
That's why it's got to be a masked lesbian, because then...
But I think with the animated men, we can give them, a fair, I'm going to assume what I want to assume, because it's a Disney movie.
Yes.
We're not knowing what's happening with them.
Agreed.
Okay, I'm looking at... Let's do Pedro Pascal. He's a real man. He's, my number 1, besides Cillian Murphy, fuck, no matter what. Real person. Pedro Pascal height, I think he is 5'11". Is that crazy that I know that?
No.
I think he's average height. It's so hard to type in these freaking gloves. Don't worry, all you have to type is Pedro Pascal, or I typed in ped, and it came up. Height. He's 5'10". That's fair. I would say that's fine. Height-wise, average, 5'10".
Yeah.
Personality.
Taller than me, so that's all that would matter to me personally. Anyways.
Right. Personality, that's 10 out of 10 from what I know. Obviously, I don't fucking personally know Pedro Pascal. I'm doing this from my perception of him.
Yes.
Intelligence, I would say he is intelligent. I think the way he talks about movies and how they're set up and his opinions on things comes off as intelligent. Dick, don't know, but one can only assume. Respect for women, I think, is also great, and I don't know about his relationship with his mom, actually. I think it's good.
He seems like a mama's boy, but not in a toxic way. Just
Yeah,
like in
I
general.
agree. He seems like he has a good relationship with his family. Yeah. That's why I immediately was like, respect for women high, because, well, also how he treats any castmate he's ever had, but I was also specifically thinking about his sister.
Yeah.
Who's trans and stuff, and high respect there and high support to the trans community.
So what, that's 0?
That's 0, but that puts in question his dick, and... But I also think a lot of it's subjective. Maybe he's secretly an asshole. Maybe...
True.
He, you know...
Yeah, there's just gotta be
something. Maybe he's stupid,
but
and we don't know it.
You'd fuck him anyways.
Right,
That's the point, 100%. You guys. Like, we're not, like...
But in theory...
The men are gonna come after us saying we're man-hating, but we're not. We're pointing out the... Well, yes.
We are, but also I'm pointing out the fatal flaws. I'm not looking at what's good about you.
Yeah.
It's a system to figure out what is wrong. It doesn't mean
they can't live.
Right.
Enough said.
And also, I don't feel bad about making a manifesto because men pick apart women in every fucking other podcast on planet fucking Earth.
True.
And guess what? 90% of that nitpicking is about their fucking bodies. Okay? I only have height. That's and dick, I guess, but it's more so the motion of the ocean than the fucking size of it.
Right.
I'm talking about, are you good in bed? That's what I mean by dick. Dick is just funnier. So, like, I'm literally only looking at your height, and I'm not even saying you have to be tall. I'm just saying you can't fall into those short man stereotypes, or those I do think a super, super tall man is probably gonna cheat on you just because, like, when you're tall, you're just kind of considered hot even if you are fucking ugly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you're a really tall man, you pretty much get away with a lot, in my opinion, because people just assume or just consider you as hot.
Yep. Okay, I guess I'll get into a real man, I guess. Most of them are characters. But I'll do Donald Glover, because I am in love with him.
He's short.
I think he's like 5'9", but still, yeah, short enough. Good for me, but I could see it's definitely a negative for others, that height. So take that as you will.
Personality.
Again, well, I don't know the man, but people nowadays have really good conversations with him. Say he's very helpful in the film industry, and he's a funny guy. I mean, he's a comedian, actor, director, rapper, whatever, but he has some controversial past. I don't know what else to call him than a fetish. He just says it's not a fetish, but I claim it as a fetish, and so that would kind of lead me down the bad personality part, because if you're fetishizing a race, I'm not really into that, but I'm not sure he's as much like that nowadays. And people have good interactions with him. So I guess it's a toss-up. I don't know him personally. Intelligence, I guess I don't know. I think he's a smart man. I think you have to be smart to be funny.
I agree with that. You have to be witty.
Yes. And to think of his rhymes that he does. And then he's obviously like a director. I think you have to have some sort of smarts in that. So I guess I'll say smart. Dick. I think honestly he might be... I don't want to speak. He might have self-proclaimed bad dick at times. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I'm getting too little dicky with it, because sometimes he reminds me of Little Dicky. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that one. Respect for women? Hopefully, I think better nowadays, but again, with the fetishizing of women in the past, I don't know on that one. That's a little iffy. And... relationship with their mother. I don't know. I think he does. No, he has a good relationship with his mom. He had his mom be his mom on spy TV show that he just did.
The Smiths.
Yes, the Smiths. He had his mom play his mom on the TV show.
Oh,
that was really sweet.
That's cool.
So I think good.
So that means he doesn't respect women, has bad dick, and it has bad personality, potentially.
Perhaps, yeah, potentially in both of those, and that would be realistic to man, so I'd say yeah. But would I marry him? No. Would I smash? Yes. Okay.
Okay, this is my anime aside, the most attractive I've ever been to a fictional character, Thomas Shelby from Peaky Blinders. And we're the fucking Peaky Blinders. It's played by Cillian Murphy. That's how I discovered Cillian Murphy. He's probably gonna have all these flaws, actually, now that I'm thinking of it. I think Cillian Murphy's actually short. I think he's like, can you Google it? I think he's like 5'7". They don't. They set up the shots in Peaky Blinders so you feel like he's tall, because I feel like he's playing a British gangster.
It says 5'10".
Oh, 5'10". Oh, okay. Then he's fine. That's fine. Personality, like, horrible. Like, he's in a gang. He is very much doing it for like, he wants money. He fucks people over. Well, no, he's all about loyalty to his people. Mm-hmm. But, like, if you fall into his enemies, like, he's gonna fucking destroy you. He has so much PTSD from the war that he was in that he, like, in the first season, he's like on hard drugs because he can't even sleep because of the fucking horrors of what he saw. He has no qualms with killing people. He has no qualms with stealing and shit like that. Like, he is a full-blown gangster with PTSD. Like, it just doesn't bode for a really well personality. I mean, his family loves him, but like I said, it's like, but the whole thing about the Peaky Blinders, it's family above everything. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Every fucking person in that family is toxic as fuck, but they're locked in.
Right.
Intelligence, he is super fucking smart. That the whole Peaky Blinders hinges on the fact that he can see his way out of pretty much every fucking situation, and that's why he gets away with all the shady shit he gets away with. Mm-hmm. So I'd say personality good. Dick goes crazy. Bitches be like begging for his dick in this show. Like, I don't know about Cillian Murphy IRL. I'm talking about the character of Thomas Shelby. Every fucking sex scene though goes fucking batshit crazy, and he has a prostitute on the side when he doesn't have a love interest, but she's pretty much consistent throughout the whole show. Who's his friend, but it's a prostitute that he pays to fuck her like when he wants to, because he's a fucking gangster. That's just how he rolls. Sure. And he literally ends up like she marries him. Not just for the money, and, like, because she's in love with him, and his dick that good.
Okay.
And, like, yeah, her name was Liz, too, and I was like, well, yes. Well, yes. Respect for women, probably, well, I actually don't know. I was gonna say it's abysmal, but at the same time, it's, like, really, I'm gonna go bad. Bad because of how he talks about women with men, because, like, but at the same time, like, his aunt is, like, a very essential part of the gang itself, and I guess it's your fucking family. Doesn't count. Right. But, like, an average woman he would expect a respect on the street, it comes into question when it's like a man is trying to talk with a woman that he considers, like, if he's romantically involved with, and he's like, that is my woman. Like, you will not speak to her. And there's, like, a whole scene that's hot as fuck, but, like, brings respect for women into question.
Sure.
Where, he has now married the prostitute Liz, and she's talking about, like, you don't even like me, all that stuff, and he's, like, and then talking about how she's scared that someone's gonna come after them or something like that, because there's always someone coming after them, obviously, because they're fucking gangsters. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you're my property, I will kill anyone who touches my property. Hot as fuck, because they're, like, fucking in the moment, and he's reassuring her. But I think in base, he sees pretty much everything as, what's it called? As currency, you know, and social currency as well. So I think just in having that ideology, I don't think he specifically, I guess, is misogynistic, but I think in his core belief that every relationship and every interaction with any human being ever is some form of social currency, with that ideology, it just comes to disrespect for women, because you're interacting with men who are misogynistic constantly, and you feed into that. Right. So I think that puts him on the bad side. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't find a man attractive who was basely misogynistic, but I think in the way he does his business dealings, it comes back around for him. Relationship with mom was good. And he even has Polly, who's his aunt, who's like a surrogate mom in a way. But his mom is dead the whole time, but there wasn't like I guess, does that make it bad? He doesn't really, like, it's not really something he, like, that weighs on him. He considers Polly his, like, maternal figure.
Sure, yeah. I guess not in and of itself. I think there's some trauma to that maybe adds to his personality, and it goes more
true, but at the same time, they never, like, focus in on that whatsoever, because he has so many other traumas that are, like, more on the forefront. Yeah, so I wouldn't say as a viewer we get that vibe.
Right.
But, like, it's implied, I would assume. Yeah. So I think that brings him to bad personality, bad respect for women. Which, yeah, he's a gangster, so probably, yeah. That actually probably checks out. It's the same way where it's like with
there wasn't too many.
No. Who were we talking about before? Where we were like, he doesn't respect other women, but he would respect his wife if I'm getting with him. You said that about someone you had. Was it Billy Butcher?
Yeah.
That's, like, I think they're similar character archetypes.
Honestly, yes.
Like, completely.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say my very, very, very controversial one, but I feel safe to say it because Dyson Afwalo also has this as a hear me out person, and so I feel it's safe enough for me to say it. So no, if you don't, you're just not gonna get it. It's gonna be Tony Soprano, and most of you girls are not gonna get it, and that's okay. Have you watched the whole show? I would ask, and if you did, you'd still probably say no, but that's okay.
He's mafia, right?
Yes.
Well, then I immediately...
No, you don't. You don't remember what he looks like?
He's ugly, but what I'm saying is I get where that appeal comes.
Okay.
Thomas Brody Sangster, Cillian Murphy, like, he is attractive, but, like, is he really objectively attractive to the masses? I would say no.
I more so accept him more so than James
Fair.
Gandolfini.
I'm just saying the archetype
but
is...
Okay, well, let's go through the list, though, because he doesn't pass... I don't think he passes a single flaw test. Actually, height. He does pass height. He's 6'1".
Okay.
He's a big guy. He's a big guy. Personality, very bad. Very, very, very bad. He's narcissistic. He's a psychopath, I would say. Or maybe a sociopath is better. Yeah, he just doesn't care about anyone else except himself. And he doesn't care what he has to do to get his way. Intelligence, he's very dumb. He's a very dumb man. That's why I love the show. They're very realistic about male relationships, I feel like. I guess that's kind of outside coming in. But the way that they demonstrate male toxic masculinity and the way that the men in power are not always just in power because they're the smartest or like the most capable. It's truly just usually the ones that are, if they have a history of being in power, they're going to be in power. And the power of just power can get you a long way. You don't have to be smart to be powerful. I mean, street smarts maybe, but like, he can't fucking spell. He barely went to school. Like, yeah, he's dumb. Dick, I would say bad. I mean, he's not a generous lover with his women. He just kind of, he does it and that's it. It's for his pleasure. He fucks a lot of people. Lots of women outside of his wife. Some very hot women, but I think they're with him because of the power and the aura he has. It's not about he actually has good sex. So I'd say bad. Respect for women, very bad. Very bad. He does not respect women. He doesn't, again, he's narcissistic. He doesn't really necessarily respect anyone else, but specifically not women. He's traditional thinking women have are meant to placate him. Relationship with his mother, very, very, very bad. His mother tried to kill him. And basically the majority of the show is about his damn mommy issues, affecting how he is today.
Be like that sometimes.
So yeah, he fails every single one but height. And yeah, in the moment, I feel like he could get me. He could unfortunately get me. I'd be... those other beautiful women falling for him, too, I would be just like them.
Well, it's also, if he's narcissistic, I feel like those type of people are smooth talkers anyway.
Yes.
They're seductive people.
But with his money, too, and the power he has, I don't know. There's something alluring about it. I don't know, guys.
Yeah, I love a gangster I love a gangster character, gangster stereotype, like... I get that. Well, I don't get it, but, like, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm not along there with you with this specific man, but I'm catching the vibe that you're putting down.
If you watch the series, let me know if you can understand where I'm coming from. You don't even have to agree, but if you understand where I'm coming from. And if you don't respond to me. Don't say anything, please.
I'm trying to see if my Demon Slayer character is on the walls, but I don't think he is. Which is a shame, because I kind of wanted to talk about him, but I wanted there to be a good physical example. Okay, so then let's just do Levi from Attack on Titan. He's right here, as you can see in this poster. He is about the size of a 15-year-old. The man is canonically like 5'3", 5'4", because he grew up in the Undercity, which is basically under fucking ground. So he got approximately 0 sunlight his entire life, because he's in his 40s in Attack on Titan, and he gets basically a crew of children. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you can see the size comparison. They're pretty much the same fucking height, and I would say that Eren also gets significantly taller than him. So to me, I love him so much it doesn't fucking matter, but I do think realistically, if I were to, honestly, kind of across the board, maybe with women as well, I don't know, I've never dated a short woman, so I wouldn't know, or other, but he is like 5'3", 5'4", like, I would be significantly taller than him, and I think I would have issue. I guess, like I said, if it's him, I wouldn't have issue. But what I'm saying is he fails.
With a general man,
He fails. Mm-hmm. Personality, he is a little bit closed off, but he is a sweetheart. Like, you can tell that he really cares about the people around him. He just likes to pretend he doesn't, because literally they all fucking die around him because they're getting killed by Titans all the time. It's like it's a defense mechanism. Mm-hmm. But from all the fan fiction I've read about him, I would say personality, good.
And who are writing those fan fictions? Women.
Exactly. And also in the canon, I just don't think in the canon we get to delve enough into his core personality, because a lot of the show is focused on, he's considered the strongest soldier, and it's the idea that the strongest are always the loneliest, because he's the strongest and he's the best person in the Survey Corps. All his comrades are always dying around him because no one can keep up with him, because he can always save himself in the end. Mm-hmm. But he can never save anybody else, and everyone he always cares about ends up dying. So, like, we're not delving into his fucking personality, because his personality at the moment is just being traumatized over and over and over and over. Right. Intelligence, highly intelligent. He is, like I said, humanity's strongest soldier. He is the only one who can kill, the only person who comes close is Mikasa, and that's because they're both Ackermans. They both have similar lineage. They're not brother and sister, but it's implied that, like, their lineage is why they're so fucking, like, OP. He could take down, like, compared to the average soldier, probably 10 times the amount of Titans. He's the strongest, and he's the most intelligent because he knows how to maneuver around them and shit like that. And he's also on par. He has this homoerotic relationship with Irvin, who is the commander of the army, and Irvin is, like, the mastermind, and he's always, like, on par with his plans. You know what I mean? They're always right there. So I would say he passes intelligence. We don't know anything about his dick. All I would say is the fan fiction sure convinced me that he would pass. I have read so many fan fictions about this man. Respect for women, high respect for women. He treats them as equals, especially in his, like, army position and things like that. Yeah, I would just say high respect for women. He's also a very respectful person in general. You expect his character to be very, like, rude and haggard, you know? But he's, like, a very, it's almost like he's obsessed with drinking, like, tea. He's, like, very posh almost, and it's like, we don't expect this from a man who's out in the fucking trenches.
Right.
High respect for all people. Relationship with his mom, he liked his mom. However, she was a prostitute and died of sickness and starvation directly in front of him when he was a little baby child, causing him to get adopted by his uncle, who is a psychopath and trains him to be a killer from a young age. So I would say it has passed a lot of trauma. So I would say he does not pass.
Right.
So, but that's only, he passes 4 with flying colors, and you directly know that he is short and has a bad relationship with his mom.
Right.
At least he makes it obvious.
Yeah.
So
true,
that would
he's
be Levi.
upfront about it.
And I don't even care. I love him for all his trauma and his fucking shortness. I don't even care. If you saw a clip of how that man flies through the air, I have edits on edits on edits. A girl in my sorority, who I haven't talked to in, like, forever, just finished Attack on Titan, and she made a point to text me and be like, yeah, this is the best thing ever made, the best media I've ever consumed, the best story that could ever be made. And I was like, I am glad that time has not eroded the fact that you know that I know that was true. And that you needed to tell me that I was right.
That's cute. I wonder if my sister's finished. I think they were in the last season. But that was a while ago. Do we want to keep going, or you think is it a good time to stop? We're at 45 minutes about.
We'd probably talked for about 5 minutes before. We can
True.
Up to you.
The episodes have been kind of long-ish, but I guess, what was that, 4?
Yeah.
So we could go for around 5.
Okay.
Oh, who am I going to choose? Who am I going to choose? Okay. Ah, this is hard. Okay. All right. My final pick, and there are more men on my list, unfortunately. I mean, again, the more fictional men. I don't really have any real men on my list. Like, actual people. I'm going to choose Sean Spencer from Psych. Have you ever seen Psych? I don't think so.
Nope.
Okay. So if you've seen Psych, maybe you can, you can hear me out on this. I guess I'll kind of explain him to you from what he is. So height. No, I think he's short.
Well, no.
I don't know. 5'9". I guess it's not bad. And for me, it's fine. But, not anything to write home about. Personality. Oh, that's hard. Personality while watching him, 10 out of 10. He's a funny, charismatic guy, makes a lot of jokes, very quippy, very witty. But in real life, he probably would piss me off. He's probably doing a little bit too much, being a little bit too silly, being a little bit too know-it-all. I think, I relate well to Juliet, which is his love interest. Just as, like, as a human being, like, specifically they meet through the workplace. So I think, like, in her work ethic, I think I'm very much her. And, I mean, they end up together. So she was able to, like, I feel like I'd be like, no, we would be made for each other in that way. But she is also very annoyed by him when she first meets him. So I think the same. But I think I would also fall for it because he's a charmer with the ladies.
I feel like sometimes men have to kind of annoy their way into your hearts.
Yes, unfortunately. And in real life, I don't let them get that far. Intelligence, very, 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 very smart man. He's, his whole thing is he's pretending to be a psychic detective, because I don't know, just for shits and giggles. I mean, to help solve cases, I guess. He's out of the goodness of his heart. But at first, he's doing it for money. But really, he just does it because he finds it entertaining. His dad was a police detective, and so trained him from a young age. He's not actually psychic. He trained him from a young age to recognize the signs of a crime, and so he's like, he just figures them out in his head. And then helps the police with that. So he's just a very, very smart man, able to notice things that most people are not. And that's where his wit comes from, I think, a bit too. Dick? I guess we don't know. It's not... I guess I would rate the show, like, probably, like, a PG-13, so there's no, like, actual sex scenes, but I don't know. If Juliet's happy, I am. I don't know.
You trust her judgment.
I trust her judgment. Respect for women, it's good. He trusts Juliet. They work really hard together. He trusts her more than he trusts the male lead detective. And their chief is a woman, and he respects her. So I guess I can't. I would say for certain that he does. I haven't seen anything to speak to otherwise. Relationship with mom, that's bad. His mom left his family at a young age, and he was raised by his father, who he has a close relationship with his father, but then he thought his mom abandoned him, and he's got a little bit of mommy issues. But that's only one for sure bad out of the rest of them. And yeah, him and Bert and Guster. I would also fuck Gus bad. Actually, I mean, it's a toss up between the two. Y'all know if y'all know, but that's it.
Fair enough. I'll round mine out with doing Peter Parker, just because I'm dressed up as Peter Parker. That was the goal. Yeah, I'm Spider-Man. But, like, I think there's so many different Spider-Mans with so many different people behind the mask. However, Peter Parker, even though there's 3 different actors who've played him, it's the same guy. The same character. Yeah. So, height, I think he passes, just average height. Personality, he's a fucking, like, soft boy nerd. Like, yes, he passes 1,000,000%. He's fucking adorable. I'm in love with him. Mm-hmm. I adore him. He's so cute. He's, like, cutesy, like, and he's a good guy. Yes. He cares for the little guy, Mm-hmm. He's the neighborhood Spider-Man, and people say that because it's not necessarily Avengers-level threats that he cares about the most. He cares about keeping the people in his neighborhood safe, which, admirable. Mm-hmm. intelligence, he's incredibly smart. His whole thing is he's a fucking, literally, like, rocket scientist in the sense of, in certain adaptations, Peter Parker makes his own web fluid. You know, he gets bit by the spider, yes, and in the first Spider-Man, forget his fucking name. The first
Tobey
guy,
Maguire?
yeah, it actually comes out of his skin.
Right.
But in the other two adaptations, they have to make it.
Yeah.
And it plays into the fact that they're so fucking smart. And
Right.
Tom Holland's goes to a technical high school, which is meant for, like, geniuses. Dick, I can only assume Gwen Stacy is satisfied in Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, is all I have to say. But in every adaptation, he either has an MJ or a Gwen Stacy, and they want him bad, both and every time. And it's only tragedy that gets them apart, so I'm assuming he's serving up that dick. Also, Nerd Boy, I feel like you can assume every time that man is packing crazy.
Oh, packing. I thought you
Well,
meant
both.
good.
I mean both.
I don't think all nerd men have good dick, no. But
You've never heard that trope?
I have, but do I think it's true in real life? No.
Oh,
but
okay.
do I think they're packing?
Okay,
yes.
well, Peter Parker isn't real.
Well, and Peter
But that's
Parker,
what I'm
I would
saying.
agree
I
with
would
you.
say
but
that's
I
why
just
I
wanted
brought up
the clarity on the trope. Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Well, that's why I brought up the trope.
No, that's fair. I think the trope does apply here.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's your fake people, yes.
Well, that's what I was just saying.
Okay,
We can
yeah,
only
that's
assume
fair.
because it was a
Yes,
joke.
yes.
Respect for women, I would say high. Respect for women. Every woman he's interacted with, he's respected with, regardless if they were family or love interest. Relationship with mom, I would say probably bad, because both his parents are dead. And in some
lots of orphans.
yeah. And I would say in some adaptations, his Aunt May also fucking dies as well. So, probably not good. I think it contributes a lot to his at the start of his before Spider-Man arc. That's where I think that quiet nerd boy personality comes from. I mean, I'm sure his nerdy interests were going to be there regardless, but he's a lot more withdrawn, I think, in the beginning. And in Andrew Garfield's, he's bullied. Tom Holland's, he's less so. He's more so just kind of an outcast type. No one really bullies him.
Right.
Because they're at a fucking technical high school. Everyone there is a fucking nerd.
Right.
But, yeah, I would say definitely affects him. Definitely doesn't pass in that sense. So what? He passes everything but that? Yeah, he passes everything but that. And that's why he's, Spider-Man's kind of the people's princess in a way.
I think so, yes.
I don't think there's a person on Earth
How can you genuinely say you don't like Spider-Man?
I literally was about to say, I don't think there's a person on Earth who actively dislikes or hates Spider-Man. I can get if you're not obsessed, even though I think a lot of people are obsessed.
Right.
More than the average.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone realistically hates Spider-Man.
Right. I agree. Okay. All right, let's get into our unsolicited advice. So, the question that I brought is, how do you politely tell someone you don't want to hang out because your social battery is drained? I don't think this is too difficult in the sense, I think hopefully the person that you're wanting to hang out with is someone that accepts you for who you are, but I think it's just about being honest with it. And I have in the past, and it's gone well for me, where I've straight up just said, you don't have to say, I can't hang out with any more people. I don't want to see you. I don't want to hang out with you. But I frame it in like, I'm not really feeling like myself, or I'm not really feeling up for hanging out with people today. I want to make sure that when I am hanging out with you, I want to be the best person that I can be, or I want to be enjoyable to be around. I don't feel enjoyable to be around right now, because that's genuinely how I feel when my social battery is at 0, is that if we're going to hang out, I'm going to be like dead as fuck, because I can't communicate with others. So in the past, when that's what's going on for me, I genuinely say, like, I've just had a lot going on. I've had a lot of people time, and when we hang out, I want to make sure I'm in a good mood and good to be around. And some friends will be like, well, I don't care what mood you're in, blah, 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 but I don't know. I it's worked well for me. People totally get it. They're like, oh yeah, that's totally fine. Let's re-meet another time. It's worked well, and I think people are more accepting of that nowadays, and I think probably relate to that you don't want to be around someone if they don't feel like hanging out. So I think being honest is best.
Yeah, I normally just am pretty succinct with it. I just say, if we have plans, I'll say, hey, like, I don't really feel up to doing anything, like, up to XYZ today. Can we reschedule?
Mm-hmm.
Or if someone's just asking, you can always, if, I don't know, if you're nervous for them to, like, judge you in any way, then just lie.
Sure.
Give an excuse. I can't, like, if there's someone's asking you to do something in the future, I think you can easily just lie and be like, I can't do XYZ thing. But I feel like you're more talking about, like, established plans.
Yeah, that's what it felt like to me. But yeah, hopefully that helps you. I don't think there's any judgment in that. Hopefully, again, I hope your friend wouldn't think some type of way about you needing to take that time for yourself. If not, I don't know. Yeah, your friendship needs a little bit of working, because if it's that fragile that you can't cancel a hangout because you're not feeling your best, I don't know about that. That feels weird to me.
Fair. My question is, who's on your realistic Pokemon team, and what type would you be if you were a Pokemon gym leader? Well, my favorite Pokemon is I can't pronounce it, Gravard dog. It's supposed to be Graveyard Dog put together. I think that was introduced in the most recent game for the first time. I just liked it that he was at the rap battle in the Pokemon Violet. Or a Ghastly, but I wouldn't actually put a Ghastly on any realistic team I have. I think that they are not very helpful. I'm trying to think of what ghost type I would be a ghost type Pokemon gym leader, but I honestly feel like ghost types are not necessarily super... You can't have, like, a team of them. I feel like you would fail completely. I think I always have to have a psychic type and a water type. I'm trying to think. The Psyduck is a really big one that I always go for. I don't know. It's hard to think off the top of my head, but I, in aesthetic and personality, would 100% be a ghost type Pokemon gym leader. And the Ghastly is my favorite Pokemon. And I kind of have I have a Ghastly. No, I have a Gengar in here, actually. That's what I have. What the hell is this, the big fat snuggly one? Why can't I remember what it's called? That's also one of my favorites. Also wouldn't put that on a team. It's annoying as fuck. But those are my favorite Pokemons. I'm trying to think. I, like, can bring to mind. I'm trying to think of, like, Pokemon teams I formed in the past. Psyduck is always in there somewhere, like a really leveled up Psyduck. And what does it become after that? I don't even know. Huh. But yeah, a psychic type I don't normally have. I normally have one ghost type because that's just my favorite type, not because they're necessarily great. And then a water type. Is it called Earth? The Earth ones? I feel like sometimes I have that, but most of the time I don't, because I find those easy to defeat with other types of Pokemon. But that's my answer. I think JT put that one. So if JT, that was you, that's my answer, and we can talk about it more in depth when I can pull up my Switch.
I have nothing to add in this case. Sorry, chat. I don't know literally anything. I can maybe name one or two Pokemon. Okay. Do you have a must recommend? Because I don't have one off the top of my head.
No. I'm watching I just finished The Summer I Turned Pretty. I binged it last week, but I wouldn't say I recommend it to anybody else. I recommend it to Erin because I want her to watch it and I want all her reactions and I want to know what she thinks and how ridiculous it is. Because it's literally like I have a parasitic relationship with it. Like, I can't stop, but it's not giving. None of the characters are likable. The only well-written storyline is a fucking storyline about cancer. So it's not really, like, fun. Let me think. And also I watched the first half of the new Wednesday season, and it wasn't that good as well. You know what? My must recommend is go see Weapons, the new horror movie that just came out. It is definitely horror, as opposed to, I think, Sinners was more thrilling than horror, even though both categorized as horror. It is really, really good. It is fucking scary as fuck. But what makes it scary is there's a lot of social commentary to it, I think, and also the idea that the parts that were scary, it's about, like, their whole classroom of kids just go missing in the middle of the night. They get up from their beds and they run out their front door and no one has seen them since. And it causes such paranoia, and the parents want a scapegoat, they want to blame someone, and that turns this, like, suburbia into, like, a terrorizing place, and you're scared to look behind any door into any home. And yes, there's a supernatural actual horror element to the fucking movie because it's a horror movie, but what makes it so scary is how these parents have impressed their views on their kids, as well as how the parents are interacting with each other and the cops, and of course the cops are fucking dumb and crooked, and there's a lot of, I think, it's an interesting horror movie. It's not something you've seen, and the premise itself, the first opening scene, you immediately know, like, yeah, this is gonna be good as fuck. So,
Okay.
good movie. Go see it.
I was trying to think during that, and I can't think of anything. Guys, I don't know. Ooh. Follow Ashby on TikTok. If you haven't seen her. If you've seen the Hamilton trend, right, coming back, she was one of the people that did that, but she's been going further. She's been doing these lives where she did Pitbull, she did the Lorax. New character drops tonight, I think. She's just a funny woman. She genuinely makes me laugh. She's just a little silly. She's definitely a theater girl. But I just love seeing little, like, creators, like, grow rapidly. And she's, like, very honest about how scary it is, but that it's exciting for her. And she's just a funny girl. She makes me giggle. So, she's been all over my For You page. And yeah, I guess TikTok's been the only media I've had time to consume lately. I mean, I guess since last time that we filmed, which was not too long ago, so. Yeah.
There. All right. I think that'll do it for us. This is probably the last time we're going to talk an extensive amount about men.
Yeah.
Not the last time, though, that we're going to pop out in out-of-pocket ridiculous outfits, though.
Well, yes.
That more to come for that. But follow us on our socials, where We Know Better Pod everywhere, and then on TikTok, it's We Know Better Pod with 2 Ds. She is Morg Cooper 2020 on TikTok and Instagram. I'm Elizabeth Penabrown spelled out on Instagram, and Edgy Liz on TikTok. And hit our link in the description for Give Us More Advice, because we are always needing it, because we go through 2 every episode.
Yep. Okay, guys. Goodbye.
That'll be it for us. Bye.